Check. Welcome to what is this? The Mandem Wrestling Show. Mandem That Wrestle. No, that's probably a pause or fire. We're gonna figure out the name of this show a little bit later. I guess I gotta figure out the title for the YouTube. But make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Do all that good stuff. Make sure you turn on your notifications for these videos. All that good stuff because this is gonna be wrestling only. I'm talking WWE, AEW, TNA, NXT, New Japan, MLW, any and everything wrestling. I'm gonna try and tap in and get some wrestling interviews. We're gonna go to all these Toronto Canadian wrestling events all over the world. You know what I'm saying? So I hope for the little bit of time that I have you guys here, I'm able to entertain you guys in this whole wrestling world, and it's a great time to be a wrestling fan, especially for Toronto wrestling fans. This year, Money in the Bank. I believe this is the first time Money in the Bank will be in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I'm excited for that. We got Money in the Bank whole weekend starting from Friday, July 5th. We got WWE Smackdown. That'll be the go home show for Money in the Bank. And then Saturday, July 6th. So I said July 5th, right? But yeah, Saturday, July 6th, we'll have Money in the Bank. And then Sunday, July 7th, we'll see NXT Heatwave. I'm sorry, Money in the Bank weekend in Toronto. I'm excited about seeing who's going to be the new Money in the Bank briefcase holder. Obviously, Damian Priest right now is holding down that briefcase, and Io Sky cashed in hers to become the women's champion over Bianca Belair. And just everything will go. Will Trick Williams be NXT champion by that time? You know what I'm saying? Very excited. NXT, man, I'm a huge fan of NXT. I love NXT. Everything that they're doing. I like all the brands. The colorful brand and 2.0, old school, gold and black. I just love NXT and what they're doing down there over in NXT, man. But yeah, as a Toronto fan, I'm definitely got to get my tickets. I don't know which event. I know NXT Heatwave is definitely a 100 for me for Money in the Bank. The Money in the Bank itself, I gotta see how the card breaks down. I mean, by this time, this could be a totally different WWE by July. Can Roman Reigns still be champion? Will Gunther still be champion? I'm assuming Damian Priest will have to use his Money in the contract or Money in the Bank contract by then. Will he be successful? A lot of questions, a lot of interesting questions, a lot of interesting perspectives, a lot of interesting paths that WWE can take for sure, for sure. But just this week, in WWE land, we'll just break down some of the stuff. I wasn't a fan of SmackDown this week, man. Storylines were a little bit dry. I didn't like the whole three-way and the bloodline trying to find people to enter. I was just like, why are they doing that? Like, you know what I'm saying? It didn't seem bloodline-ish. Like, it didn't seem like something the bloodline would do. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like in their story mode to go find somebody to join them to do their dirty work for them. I would have liked it to be a 6-man tag with Roman, Solo, and Jimmy facing. Is it Jimmy or Jay? It's Jimmy, right? But yeah, Jimmy facing Randy Orton, LA Knight, and AJ Styles. I seen what they were doing there with the LA Knight, AJ Styles tag team thing, but I didn't like that at all. I think honestly, since Jay has left, Solo and Jimmy have just looked terrible. I know Solo got the big win over John Cena, but Solo has just, I don't know, man. They need to start really building him back up. He's got to be the last four in the Royal Rumble. I would assume. I would hope that'd be a good goal for them there. But also on SmackDown, I hope Austin Theory's Austin Theory. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. I hope Austin Theory is okay, man. He had a match with Carmelo Hayes, and he was trying to do, I believe, that top rope springboard Spanish fly, and it just looked really, really nasty. They called off the match. We've been seeing a lot of that lately too. A lot of matches, more than usual. Wrestlers have just been getting injured, man. I'm wondering. I mean, they seen Giovanni Vinci, a part of Imperium. He got injured from Kofi, and I know they're trying to do Ludwig Kaiser. They're trying to do him and Kofi, and they try to do that angle with Ludwig taking off Kofi's head. But now with this, with Austin Theory, I just thought, what's up with this Austin Aries, man? Austin, you out there coming back to the wrestling world? I want to see WWE switch it up a little bit. Like they've had that indie style of wrestling that they've been trickling into their style. I want to see them maybe get into like a more hardcore New Japan style of wrestling and just be rough and just punching and elbows to face and chops and do a whole match where just people are just chopping each other and straight elbows for the whole match. That's it. Like I think they need to, keep their wrestlers just more healthy. And Austin Theory has probably had the biggest fall off of any wrestler I've seen. He might be like have to go through the Drew McIntyre scene and just leaving and coming back. He might have to go through that, man. What else did happen on SmackDown? I believe they finally put a name. Well, not to that. Well, the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley need a name. Like they can't just be the Almighty Prophets. Who knows? But they did put a name to Authors of Pain, Karrion Kross, his group, their faction, the Final Testament. You guys here for that name? The Final Testament. And it's interesting. I should have actually started off with this, but I have a leaked WrestleMania card. And when it came out at first, I didn't believe it. I thought it was just somebody was just making up stuff. Like, who would even do this? Make sure you guys drink your water. Stay hydrated. But yeah, who would make up such a random card? And it seemed quite left. But at the end of the show, I would break down that card for you. And the reason why now I'm starting to believe majority of that card is true is because of the Authors of Pain debuting and how they debuted, where they debuted. I believe that this card, and I got this leaked card a while ago. This is actually the leaked WrestleMania card is the reason why I'm even doing this right now. I would have never done this unless I got that leaked card. I think I would have been always telling my friends, "Come on, guys, let's do wrestling. Let's talk about wrestling, guys." But yeah, I'm interested to see where they go with the whole Karrion Kross, AOP, Street Profits, and Bobby Lashley, because I feel like Lashley and them need some wins. Like they've just been, the Street Profits have just been here and there getting wins over like lower teams than them, but I think that they need wins, and Karrion Kross needs wins. Like badly. He hasn't done anything since he's come back. So let's hope that they figure out something with these teams. I don't know. But I know that the Bailey and Bianca Belair match, they went left to SmackDown. Just seemed it was alright. It was decent. I really like them. They're hinting at my boy going back to Pete Dunne, Butch. They're hinting at him going back to Pete Dunne. I'm interested in that. I really want to see what they do with that, and I hope that they do the right by Pete Dunne. Overall, I would rate SmackDown out of 10 this week. It was a 6. It was a decent show. Nothing like too out there. Nothing that, you had to see. You didn't miss anything. I'm trying to think if there was anything big, anything, major that happened. I don't know. It wasn't there for me. I wasn't feeling it. Raw, Monday Night Raw, a little bit better. Raw's 3 hours kills me. Like the third hour, it just takes a lot out of you, man. Clearly, this Raw, I feel like, was more of a setup for next week's show. They had a lot going on that's building up for next week's show. Seth Rollins versus Jinder Mahal. I believe DIY is supposed to be facing Judgment Days, Dominic Mysterio, and JD McDonough. And I believe the tag team champions will put on their titles against Miz and R-Truth. All stuff that they're building up for next week. Becky Lynch cut her promo with about Nia Jax. That was a really good promo that she cut. Nia and Rhea had a nice back and forth with Nia kind of saying that she would win the Royal Rumble. Johnny Gargano helped Tommaso Ciampa beat Finn Balor, so they're clearly setting up the DIY, possibly taking the titles from Judgment Day, which I'm here for it. I don't know. Judgment Day, they were good champions at first. I kind of like the first run. The second run seems mid. Like, I can't even remember the last time they defended the titles. I'm not sure. I'm not really feeling Judgment Day's run this one. So give it the titles to the Creeds, DIY, Imperium, anybody. Just take the titles off those guys. Break them up. I think it's time for them to break up. Or Damien's got to cash in soon. So what? It's got July. So what are we in? January? February, March, April, May, June. We got like 6 months. He's got to cash in within 6 months. So we'll see what happens. CM Punk and Drew McIntyre had a really, really good back and forth, a really good promo. Kind of showed that they're setting up Drew McIntyre possibly and Damian Priest somewhere down the line, which is very, very interesting. And also the whole CM Punk winning, like, who's going to really win that Royal Rumble? This is one of the years where it's just like everything's totally up in the air. Also, they had Cody finally finishing some story, not the story that we want, but he finished the story with Shinsuke Nakamura. I mean, a really good episode of Raw. Nothing too crazy, nothing noteworthy. I'm trying to think of anything noteworthy that happened. It was just a nice, solid episode. You got some good in-ring action. You got some great promos. You got the women were in action. I believe the tag team champions were in action. It was a really, really decent episode of Raw. Again, all just build up. I think we're on the road to WrestleMania. This is all good build up. There hasn't been anything like bad, like where I was just like cringe, turn off. I believe the Judgment Days with R-Truth, that little thing that he did there. I really want to see what they're gonna do with R-Truth and Judgment Day. I can honestly possibly see them turning like R-Truth. Like R-Truth might be a heel, a funny heel. That could work. It could work. And JD McDonough, by the way, like, I know Vince is not there, allegedly. God damn, if you go back and watch JD McDonough before he came to the main roster, it's like night and day. That guy is an amazing wrestler. And what WWE is doing with him, bro. Oh my God, I pray for you, JD, man. Good luck out there, JD. But yeah, that was the big highlights of WWE. I'm gonna get the NXT last because I like NXT. But Joe, AEW Samoa Joe finally had his first promo as AEW World Champion, coming out there with the suit, looking fresh, man. Big up Samoa Joe. I'm liking that, they finally gave Joe a chance. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these companies, Impact gave him a chance, but not really. WWE didn't really give him a chance at all. They didn't give him a chance. Not even really. They didn't give him a chance. But yeah, AEW decided, Max is probably going to be out for a bit. Let's put it on Joe. And unfortunately, I know Joe's probably going to be somewhat of a transitional champion. I don't see him holding it. Maybe through one pay-per-view. I'm not sure about two. I know AEW is a little bit different because they stretch out their pay-per-views for a couple of months. But listen, if they're not going to put this title on Swerve anytime soon, I'm going to get cheese. Not liking the slow build that they're doing with Swerve. Just run with it. Give him the title. I would have been cool with him being the devil, or you know what I'm saying? Just do something with Swerve, Tony. Please, please, please. But yeah, Swerve came out. Hangman Adam Page came out. Hook came out, all to challenge Joe and let Joe know that title, Shane is going to be hot. These guys are coming at it like a hot potato. Joe will be defending his title against Hook this week. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Like, I don't care that Hook. I know there's a backlash with Hook and people getting mad that Hook and Jinder were challenging for the titles. I don't care about any of that at all. I just don't think it's right for Hook to be challenged. Like, don't put him there yet because he's gonna lose. So just don't give him that spot. I want to see. I guess you're trying to see if he's ready for the spot, and that's cool. But yeah, I just don't like the way they're doing that aspect of it. But it is what it is. They also did a little tribute to Brody Lee. They had an 8-person tag match, which Preston Vance won and Anna Jay won for the girls side of it. That was cute. It was a cute little match. Hangman had a really, really good match with Claudio Castagnoli. Cesaro, man. I'm always gonna call him as Cesaro. I'm sorry. Claudio or thing. But Hangman, they look like they need to do something with him ASAP too. And then it closed out Sting, Darby Allin beat the Don Callis family of Takeshita and Will Hobbs, Powerhouse Hobbs. A really, really good match. Hold on, I'm tagging before we can right now. Izzy, you want to enter the chat? Almost? But yeah, that was a really, really good match. Takeshita and Darby Allin is a championship match somewhere down the line. Like, they have to get a title on both of these guys or one of these guys and have them fight for a title because, boy, them two have some amazing, amazing chemistry. Like, yeah, bro. But yeah, at the end, which was, I guess, the biggest newsworthy thing was the Young Bucks coming out and challenging, kind of looking like they were challenging or just pretty much they're opening up. I'm sorry, pretty much putting out that challenge to Sting and Darby Allin for Sting's last match. Sting and Darby Allin versus the Young Bucks for Sting's last match. I know a lot of people are not feeling it. And again, you don't have to break them up, but Sting's last match should be with Darby Allin. That's it. Sting, since he's come in, he showed his respect for Darby Allin. I think the reason you even put Sting beside Darby Allin was to just give him all that push and that buzz. And I think the right way to send off that tag team, since they've never won tag team gold or anything, and Darby hasn't really done much with Sting. He's had one little title run. But I think the right thing would be to have them have a final match together. I know Sting is really, really hurt. I know he can only do so much in the ring. But even having it like one of those Hardy matches, one of those Lucha Underground type matches, I don't know if Sting would be down for that. I know Darby would be pretty open to it. But just Sting's last match should not be with the Young Bucks. Sting, the Sting that I know, he was never a tag team guy like that. He had a 1-2, but Sting's last match should either be with Ric Flair or Darby Allin. That's my personal opinion. Listen, AEW is always good. They always have the great in-ring action. I just need like storylines to pick up a little bit. I didn't like also to Adam Cole's group, the Undisputed Bad Guy, whatever the hell, the Undisputed Kingdom. Gotta take a shot every time I hear about bad stuff. But I didn't like that they were putting them lower on the card. I thought that they should have came out during Joe's segment too as well. But AEW was fine. AEW was fine this week. Yeah, Izzy, you like AEW this week? Izzy said AEW was fine this week, alright? She liked it. And last but not least, NXT. NXT. Another reason why I wanted to start talking about wrestling is because of NXT. You could see it like from when Mr. Ilya Dragunov was denied Trick Williams his chance to win the championship last week. Or was it the week before? I'm not too sure on which week it was. Immediately in my head, the storyline was Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams need to enter the Dusty Classic, win the Dusty Classic, and even win the tag team titles. It sets itself up so perfect. Like, it's kind of the Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade, just for the guy version of it. Like, it's right there for you guys. Make them, I don't know how long, I don't know if Dragunov's injury is real, like, or what's going on with his injury and what's going on with him. But, hey, let Trick and Mello win the tag team, the Dusty Cup. Let them beat whoever's the tag team champions at that time. And let Carmelo turn on Trick. Then, like, I think that's a perfect time, then they're both the tag team champions. Trick's about to win the title. Boom! Stabs him in the back. Oh my God. The Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty. I think that would be amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I'll be all here for it. That's what I would like to see. There's a big women's battle royal to figure out who's going to be the number one contender for Laya Valkyrie, who I'm not the hugest fan of as a women champion. Laya Valkyrie, let's be real. She's one of the weakest WWE Women's Champions. That might be like I like her. She's a great wrestler, everything. I just think they wanted to try something. They're going out of the way, but she hasn't. I don't know. She hasn't really standed out to me. Like Tiffany Stratton, amazing. Like that girl impressed me. I was just like, damn, she can wrestle. Lyra still hasn't had, to me, her breakout moment yet. I'm still waiting for a breakout moment for Lyra, and that's just me. OTM, they failed to capture the tag team titles against D'Angelo. Another team that I actually, if Trick and Melo are not going to win, I want to see Nathan Frazier and Axel win. I like those guys. Those kids can wrestle. They beat Tank and the other guy, Heath. I can't remember. Corey J beat Gigi Dolan in a really, really good match. I like that match. Dragon Lee, who apparently he's been having visa issues. He got challenged by Brian Pillman Jr. I'm sorry. Brian Pillman Jr. Lexis King for a North American title shot. It happened later on, and it was interesting because Lexis King was doing a promo or interrupted Obi. I can't pronounce my boy's name, but Obi. Obi seen that, and he was very interested, which led into the main event of Dragon Lee and Lexis King. Dragon Lee won, and Obi did his breakout contract to win the North American Championship. Really changing the guard of NXT. I think they already called up Dragon Lee, which was interesting. I didn't see why they even took the title off of Dominic to make it Dragon Lee. So Dragon Lee was pretty much a transitional champion anyways. But Obi Femi should have a decent little couple of months run with the North American Championship. Build it back up to prominence. He's a very strong guy. So whoever you're going to make beat him, you know what I'm saying? I know that Riley or Brian, they got us part of Chase U. That would be interesting to see him get built up to then take the North American title from him. I'm really interested to see what they're gonna do, how they're gonna push these younger acts of the NXT guys and Obi Femi. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's going on. But NXT was great for me this week. I can never fully judge NXT unless it's a bad episode, because I really, really like NXT, man. All around good stuff for NXT. And yeah, I want to see where they're going to go with the main title, because if Dragunov is injured for a while, what's going on with Trick's title shot, Ridge Holland, I want to see what they're going to do with that. But Trick and Melo need to win that Dusty Classic. I'm calling it here first. Yeah, that's definitely in here. Something on here. Before I get out of here, also any wrestling news, wrestling stories, wrestling events, anything, make sure you guys tap in, let me know. But I have here the reported WrestleMania leaked card, WrestleMania XL leaked card. I'm going to go start from the bottom going up. Let me know if you guys believe this. Kevin Owens and The Rock versus Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Pete Dunne versus Ridge Holland in a Donnybrook match. The Creed brothers versus Imperium for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. Bianca Belair versus Liv Morgan in a tables match. Sammy Owens versus Omos. This is Casey and Caden versus Chelsea Green, Piper Niven versus Zelina Vega and Mission versus, Isla Dawn and Alba Fire for the women's tag team titles. You have Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso for a tribal combat match. AJ Styles versus Carl Anderson versus Luke Gallows. Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar in the Lucha City Street Fight. You have Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest in a Money in the Bank ladder match. AOP versus Karrion Kross. AOP and Karrion Kross versus Street Profits and Bobby Lashley. And Carmelo Hayes is in their corner. Randy Orton versus Solo Sikoa. Logan Paul versus LA Knight in a United States Championship match. And it also puts that it's a crunchy peanut butter Snickers crunch match. Holy Jesus Christ. Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. Women's World Title. Io Sky versus Bayley. Iron Woman match for the Women's Championship. You have Gunther versus Brock Lesnar. Intercontinental Championship. Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. Normal regular match. And Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes in an I Quit match. Now I'm going to pop up this side, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to pop up the card. You take a look at it. Again, when I first seen this, I was like, this is cap. This is not true. This is a lie. Whoever made this up, you're a bad person. I don't like you for playing with my emotions like that and giving me such an amazing WrestleMania card. But then last week, AOP arrived on Smackdown with Karrion Kross, and it made me think out of more, like, AOP's been with WWE. They signed back for them for a while, and apparently they were supposed to be on Raw. We were hearing news. I didn't know. So with them popping up and being with Karrion Kross, with the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley, to me, I want to say 90% of this card is true. The Bianca versus Liv Morgan might be iffy because we haven't seen Bianca or Liv even interact or everything. Liv's not even on camera, so that's iffy. Creed Brothers versus Imperium, that might be iffy too. I see them more going with like a multi-tag guys with Creeds, DIY, Imperium, all that. Pete Dunne, Rich Holland, possible. AJ Styles versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, possible. Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest, they've already been hinting at that. Logan Paul versus LA Knight, hinting at that. Randy Orton versus Solo Sikoa, Io versus Bayley. They've pretty much hinted at everything other than Gunther versus Brock Lesnar. And again, I've had this for a while. Now, obviously, the Cody and Roman, that was obviously supposed to happen. CM Punk and Seth Rollins, that's obviously. But the rest of this card, Sami Zayn versus Omos is an interesting one too. But you might hear it first. This card might be real. I would not be surprised if this is a legit WrestleMania card with a few kinks, tweaks. I will say I could see, instead of Liv Morgan and not a tables match, I could see Bianca facing Jade Cargill. Jade, where you at, girl? They were showing you off the first couple of months of you signing over there, and I haven't seen a word, heard anything of you since. Is that training going good? Is it going bad? Who do you guys want to see Bianca Belair face? Who do you guys want to see a Punk face? Seth Rollins, Roman? Who do you guys feel is going to be the top four, the last four, and who's winning the women's and men's Royal Rumble? Before we get into it, I'll just give my thoughts. I think CM Punk has to win the Royal Rumble. I think with Cody, you can build him up to get to Rome. Cody doesn't have to be winning the Royal Rumble. I think it's more dramatic and it'll put more of an off for Cody not to win it and figure out a way to get to Roman. I think CM Punk's winning the Rumble and he goes straight to facing what's my boy name? Seth Rollins. I'll see how Cody gets to Roman. I don't know, but Cody does need to take that title for Roman. Yes. So I see Cody, Solo, CM Punk. I don't know who that fourth person is as the last four people in the Royal Rumble. For the women's, I think Bayley wins. I think you make Bayley win it, if not Jade Cargill or Becky. I think those are the three top main choices. And yeah, you make obviously Becky go for Io, or you make Becky go for Rhea and Bayley go for Io. And then, I think that's just a must. You got to do it that way. But yeah, this card, the WrestleMania XL card, I don't know. Again, it's a great time to be a wrestling fan, man. That's been my time here, guys. Again, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Put on your notifications. Let me know any wrestling news. Hit me up in the DMs if you got any sort of wrestling stuff, any sort of wrestling clips. I'm gonna be doing a lot more of this, guys. So make sure you guys are tapped in. It's been your boy Gutsy. I'm gonna figure out the title of this when it goes up. All right. I'm off of this. Good night.